How do we work on our minds? How do we work on our minds to get it to play ball? To stop labeling and condemning everything it comes into contact with, subconsciously or consciously, whether you realize it or not. The mind is the egoic mind, guys. That's not who you are. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of the entirety of who you are. But it's not who you are. And I think that's what we have forgotten. And I'm here to clear this up. Yo, it's the 1111 movement here, globally connected spiritual communities. Today's video is going to consist of 3 key things that I think you should know about the egoic mind. The mind that we live with and tend to believe in everything it says, you see. I think people have become so identified with the voice in their head that it is actually them now, if that makes sense. Just how people identify with their body as them. Like, don't get me wrong, your mind and your body consist of who you are, but that's not who you truly are underneath the flesh and the thoughts. So, number 1 would be noticing the insanity of the egoic mind. What do I mean by that? Just notice how erratic your mind is and how judgmental and how it has to label everything it sees or puts its attention on. Just notice, look around your room you are now, look at one object and listen to your mind label that object to what it is. It can't help itself but identify with forms, physical forms. Because without the ego identifying with things, it will cease to exist. You see, it finds its identity in things like, this is my car, this is my computer mouse, it's mine. That's the ego. So it's like the first thing we have to do is become conscious of our thoughts. Observe your thoughts. Be the observer, the witnesser that witnesses the thoughts. But don't judge or condemn your thoughts if they're destructive or negative, or even if they're positive. Just listen to your thought process, and that is the first step to dissolving the ego, because now you're aware of your insanity. Now you're aware of how much you think, and you may be thinking about something that has no relevance to what you are doing now. The second thing I think you should know to regain back your mind and to regain back the power of your life, as little as it sounds, breathing techniques. And trust me, if you're a parent, you already know about this. Breathing techniques, guys. The moment you take a deep breath in, what happens is, whether you realize it or not, is your thoughts stop. Thoughts stop for a split second. And there's a space, there's a gap in between thoughts. And a lot of people don't realize that, because a lot of people are so possessed by their thoughts, they don't even realize that they can have gaps in between thoughts. So breathing techniques is like a meditation in a sense, but you don't have to go deep into it and lay down and all that. All you got to do is take a deep breath in and out. And you're listening to the breath going in to your lungs and coming out of your lungs. And when you put your attention on the air leaving your body and coming into the body, what happens is, it arises this stillness within you. It arises this presence, which then, once you work this into your life, every day, get up, do your breathing techniques, you will find that the more you practice the more you practice your breathing techniques, the more gaps and spaces you will have in between thoughts. And the first thing I want you to really, really grasp is that you are not your mind. So don't believe in what your mind tells you all the time. Do not believe in that little voice in your head that tells you you cannot or you can't do that. Because that egoic mind likes to keep you safe. It likes to keep you in a little box and confine you and hold you down. Because it doesn't like to venture. It's not a spontaneous thing. The mind is very protective, right? And it will tell you certain things that you may not want to hear. And it will lie to you. And it doesn't think twice. Okay? So it's like, if we grasp the fact that the voice in our head is not us, then I think that is a massive, massive step into moving out of the egoic mind state of being and to open our heart spaces towards other people and to show people that no matter what our mind is telling us or how we're thinking about certain things or situations, I'm going to follow my heart. And I'm going to make a choice from a heart perspective point of view instead of a mind. Instead of using my mind or listening to my mind. I'm going to listen to my heart. Or your gut feeling, your intuition. So guys, to sum this whole video up. Number 1, be aware, become conscious of your thoughts, become conscious of your old patterns that you wake up and think over and over and over again. Try and not judge, not condemn what your thought processes are, and just be aware. Number 2, breathing techniques. Make sure you work on your breathing techniques. That's the only way you are going to be able to work in space in between your thoughts and in between your life, is if you work on breathing and slowing down thought. And number 3, you are not your mind. You are not your body. You are a spiritual being, having a physical experience, having a human experience, okay? You are God's children, okay? Nothing is impossible. Nothing. You are endless. You are an infinite being, okay? All that is, was, and never can be. That is who you are. Consciousness. Period. Never forget that, guys. Alright? So, with all that said, like and subscribe, guys. Listen, God bless. Thank you for listening. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You're the reason why I want to do this, guys. I want to help any way I can, but especially with what's going on around the world now. We need to take control back of these minds because these psychopaths want to take our minds, connect it to AI, and fuck us up. Take back control of your mind, guys. God bless. Love and light.